Hey there, Dan Garner here, and in this video, I am pumped up to walk you through the Vitality Coach platform. This thing is a career in a dashboard. It really is. If I had access to this thing back in the day, I would have learned so much more. I would have helped so many more people, and I would have done so in a way that was way less stressful. This is the easy button, and we've said that so much it's almost become a mantra around Vitality is we're your easy button, we're your easy button. And the reason why that's become a mantra is because it was so important to me as a coach to make this easy. It needed to be easy. Look, I'm not a tech guy. I struggle with Excel spreadsheets, okay? So everything needed to be easy, and it needs to be easy so that I can focus on what I'm passionate about, so that I can do what I absolutely love doing, which is helping people. Okay, so this process, this actually reignited a lot of passion in me. This is the dashboard that I use each and every single day with my high level clientele. And the reason why it's kind of re-injected so much passion into my life and done so in such an effective way is because it allows me to place more of, say, what I would refer to as my green life bar of energy towards the things that give me energy. Okay, whenever I was feeling overwhelmed in my career as a coach, it was never because I was helping people. It was never because I was getting results, right? I don't get stressed out from improving people's health. I don't get stressed out from improving people's performance. I don't get stressed out from learning new things or designing programs. I love all of this stuff. What I would get stressed out about personally is the administrative, organizational, and managerial components that allowed me to ultimately express my passion. So, like, the onboarding of a client, making sure I'm ordering the right blood work, seeing where the blood draw location is going to be. Once the blood work is done, is it done yet? Was it scheduled? Is the process done? Getting that blood work to me so that I can work with it. Has the client filled out their questionnaire? Have they filled out their follow up questionnaire? The whole process and many others, right? There's many logistics involved. And if I was attacking my day with a 100% green life bar of energy, and 50% of that is going to like figuring out where people are in the user journey. And also, those were the times where like I couldn't scale because like the machine of my business would like start breaking because like I'd forget if a client had finished their questionnaire, I'd forget where they're at in their journey, and then I look bad. I want nothing more but to help that person. But now I like sort of look like I don't care about that person just because of the logistic nature of all the things going on and that I don't have an easy system for it all. Vitality Coach answers all of those problems and then some. And it does it in an amazing way. And it does it in a way where you're going to be maximally confident. Like that's really just something that's easy is what you're confident in, right? The interpretation and analysis. Over 20,000 calculations are performed on every single blood work. So you can have maximum confidence in the analysis of every blood work that goes through your Vitality Coach platform. And because of the intensive analysis process, you can have maximum confidence in the effectiveness of every single recommendation. That in depth of analysis leads to precision recommendations that get results fast. And on top of this, we now have over 5,000 scientific references within the Vitality engine. So you are getting an analysis process instant and confident. You're getting a program design process instant and confident, and you're doing it in a way that does not sacrifice any scientific integrity or validation along the way. That's what I wanted out of Vitality Coach, and that's what we accomplished. It's easy, you're confident, it's fast, you can scale, and it's scientifically exactly where I want it to be, okay? And exactly where you want it to be too. So I want to walk through this whole process. There's so much here that I want to go through with you. The camera is here and the dashboard is here, so you're going to see me go back and forth a bunch of times for that reason. This is a dummy dashboard, so you see like a lot of these like are kind of blank right now. I took a screenshot of a dashboard that would be full. So this would be a working coaches platform in a more full sense and not in a platform walkthrough video sense. So you can see all the names, the vitality score of every client. You're able to pick, right? There's 13 functional areas and 8 performance areas to choose from. the functional areas and the performance areas actually both tailor the analysis process even further. So on top of over 20,000 calculations being performed on every blood work, they're further tailored. So you can pick, let's say you wanted to focus on gut health from the inside out, but then you wanted to focus on endurance as your actual performance output, right? You're actually able to tailor the analysis and program design process based on the pain points of the client, or just the goals of the client, or some combination of both, perhaps the root cause issue of the client, whatever it's going to be. I personally would totally be tailoring it when in doing the analysis process myself. So the engine needed to support that too. So this functional area, you or your client can pick what you want the emphasis from, and we'll get to that in a minute. And then the performance process, the performance output rather, of course, we have all the goals that you can focus on too. The plan, what plan they're on, and then also plan status. So I'm actually going to go back to here and kind of get into this a bit, because this plan status and this action, these two rows here are like everything to me. They're like what I spent the first 5 minutes of this video on. It's like, I don't want to do any of that stuff. I want to have more time in my day to help people and to learn and to do that, and honestly to scale my business and drive a lot more revenue in. I want to be able to work with a lot more people so I can help more people, but I also want a successful business. Who doesn't, right? And getting rid of the organizational and administrative stuff is like the trimming the fat. I hesitate to say trimming the fat. It's like trimming like everything. It allows you to save so many hours per week, and just really run the business on autopilot in many ways. And you just go on here, like what I would have done for this back in the day, to log on, see my clients, see all their goals, their current scores, what plan they're on, and then also their plan status. So like, okay, is their onboarding in process? Have I activated them? Have I purchased the plan? Do I need to build their performance plan in their program? Do I need to review whatever it's going to be, right? Schedule their blood draw. This is all just instantly there. I don't have to think about it. I don't have to put a bunch of things in my calendar. I don't need to put a bunch of notifications on my phone. I don't have to hire somebody to go do this. It's done. And then the action. Because I need that too. I need a kick in the butt. Not only is the plan status, it lets me know what's going on, but I need to be told what to do. I want the action. Boom, boom. And not only do I need to be told, I want just one button to click on it to take me to the place so I can go do that, right? I don't need to be told in a written way and then not hyperlinked. I want it right there. If it's going to be easy, then it needs to be easy the whole way through. And I want to show you how easy it is. Okay, so what I've done with this, I've created a bunch of fake people, but I've done it in a way to show you like each stage of the process. Okay, so if you wanted to add a client, it's hidden under my big head right now, but there's a black button that says add client that's in the top right corner of the screen. First name, last name, email, right? Super simple. And I'll show you, okay? This is step one, the client in the adding client process. What would step two be? Step two would actually be getting consent, okay? So consent, right? So we went from 1 to 2. Now, in a normal environment, you would just be doing this for one client, right? But I'm showing you different stages from different people because I teed this whole thing up. So here, Natalie Jackson, right? So if I already have consent that I can handle her blood work, then her blood work PDF, then I can kind of just click here, and then I've got confirm and proceed. Boom. If not, I can actually just copy a link with a letter of consent and send it to her, and then she can approve it on her own. So then now that we've added the client and we've got consent, it is time to purchase a plan. Okay, so you can see we went from 1, 2 to 3. And now we're purchasing a plan. And you'll see here, these are all $0. This is just a dummy account, remember? This is not how the real platform looks like, but you can get the standard plan, or you can get the elite plan, or you can get the upload plan. The upload plan is if your client already has blood work from somewhere else, or if you are a practitioner who you already do your own blood work, then you can use the upload plan to use our engine to interpret the blood work you're already doing, or the blood work that your client already gets from somewhere else. Maybe their corporation does yearly blood work for them, or maybe they went to someone else for blood work and they want a better interpretation from Vitality. That's the upload process. And then we have standard and elite. And then, of course, one time, a semi-annual, or a quarterly. Okay? So then you would go through that process and you would click purchase. And then now this client, you've onboarded a client. They're good, right? So now you would go ahead and activate them. Activation, Vitality Elite, right? This is what you would be taken to next. You would activate this plan, and once that plan is activated, now they're going to be sent the blood draw scheduling stuff. Okay, so they're going to get an email, and this is all done for you. By the way, you don't have to do any of this. Our lab concierge will actually know their geographical location. It'll recommend the blood draw locations closest to them to get the blood draw done. It'll have a scheduling appointment option, right? So they can schedule and have the closest place to them, right at your fingertips for your clients, and also to keep you out of the process so you're not doing any of it. And then we also offer mobile phlebotomy, which again, you're out of the process, but it's all there. So that's what happens when you activate it, okay? And then there's an optional thing if you want to, once the blood work is scheduled, you can add scheduling details for you and your client just so you guys both have access to it. But that's not a mandatory part of the journey. You can just have it. It'll exist on their dashboard so they can see when their blood draw is scheduled. But they also already got it in their email. They already have it on their own. Okay. And so does the lab concierge. So that's just kind of the fourth process or I guess we'll say status option that can be available here. Looking at your dashboard. Now, the scheduling details, that really brings you into going to a performance plan after that. So once someone's scheduled, right, that just means they're getting their blood draw done. And then once their blood draw is done, well, then you'll have all of their blood work and you'll be able to look at the results and create a plan for them. So review results, create plan, boom, okay. So I'm now, if you've got a real quick not coach's eye, if you've got a real quick, basically AI, but A-E-Y-E, I'm hilarious, you would see that this top left here moved from Vitality Coach to Vitality Client. So this is a pretty cool part of the process now, right? You've moved from your coach's administrative dashboard into the actual client's dashboard. So this is a dummy account for Jim Rever. But you're now literally seeing his dashboard. So if he's on his phone looking at his dashboard, this is what he sees. You're in it, okay? Almost like you've got a super admin account and you're able to go in everybody else's account as you should as their coach. And what you would do is you would create a performance plan from here. And this is just an amazing part of the process here. So you would watch the video if you want. You wouldn't need to, but remember, this is the client's journey. So they're going to watch the video of this would be myself walking them through. This is, making the process easy for them. You go next, boom. Then you have functional areas. So this client wanted to focus on brain chemistry as their functional area and muscle size as their performance area. Sounds a lot like my goals right now, brain chemistry and muscle size. So then you would add some recommendations just to act as the foundation of the plan. Blueberries, fantastic for brain health. And then also for performance area, let's go ahead and throw some creatine in there. Boom. Okay. So this acts just as like the foundational recommendations that really anybody can do. These are the recommendations based on your goals, but not based on blood work. Okay. Key thing to differentiate there. Then we go next. Now we're moving into targeted recommendations. So targeted is the recommendations based on blood work. So now we're moving into, okay, what were the things that flagged for him the most? And what are the recommendations that are going to offset those? Okay. So he flagged for a vitamin B1 insufficiency. So this is actually a pattern. And I want to just show you like a walkthrough instead of a science through, but like a pattern is a relationship between markers. So we're not just assessing biomarkers on a one-to-one level. A pattern reflects, okay, 8 markers had this type of relationship with one another. And we know when it looks like that it represents a B1 insufficiency, okay? So a biomarker is like a single data point, whereas a pattern is a reflection of a physiologic state, okay? It is something where it is multiple biomarkers plus multiple subjective markers that they filled out in the questionnaire, by the way. And then you've got the things that they flagged for the most. All to say, you can, and again, my head is blocking this button, but there's a black button under my head that says suggested plan. So first of all, you can go ahead and for each biomarker, right, I can do this, right? So vitamin B1 insufficiency is actually really good for me to have a B complex and magnesium to support that. So now I've done the recommendations to support my B1 insufficiency. ALT, I can pick some things. Free testosterone. Okay, well, I should do some weight training and get some Tonkat Ali in. My glucose was off. So what am I going to do? Well, I can go ahead and get some cinnamon and berberine. That sounds good. So I'm building this for my client. A couple of important points here that I'm going to point out. For every single marker you see, like glucose, HbA1c, monocyte, lymphocyte, triglycerides, you're going to see lifestyle, nutrition, and supplementation recommendations. And we're doing this to offset any problem with adherence. Okay? So the only difference, like it's weird when I say this, but I never got paid to do blood work. I got paid to get results. Okay? There's a big difference. When I was getting a UFC fighter ready for a title fight, he didn't say, hey, let's do blood. No, he would say, hey, make me the best fighter on the planet. Okay, so blood work was always just a vehicle to get the best results possible. But the only difference between blood and results is adherence. You need to create a plan that they can actually follow. So that's why you see lifestyle, nutrition, and supplement recommendations recommended for everything the whole way through, so that if the client is building it themselves, then they can self-select the ones that they are the most adherent to. Or if you want to own the process, which you absolutely can, you can self-select the ones that you know the client will follow. Okay? And this is like pretty cool, right? Because some people, they don't want any supplements. For whatever reason, they're not a supplement person. So you can actually toggle here. I don't want to use any supplements, solve all my problems with nutrition. We can do that here. If you're not a lifestyle person, let's just say, hey, there's a lot of people not into meditation. Fine. For DHEA, we won't meditate and we will do ashwagandha. Maybe you don't mind popping pills, okay? You're matching adherence with the performance plan, okay? So you can go ahead and, right, marker by marker, I've shown you here, we can go ahead and build this plan for this person, or the person can do it themselves, or you can click one button, which is the button under my head called Suggested Plan. Create Suggested Plan. So this, when I hit this button, this is the exact plan that I would make for a client. All right, analyzing over 20,000 markers, looking at the ratios and calculations, evaluating their health and performance factors, boom. So all that stuff that I just walked through, you don't technically have to do any of it. That single button created an entire plan for them. The exact lifestyle, nutrition, and supplement recommendations that I would have had this person do, okay? Now, you can toggle less or more. Some people want to do 10 things instead of 20, whereas like the biohacker community, they might want to do a lot of things. Again, just match it to adherence and match it to what's most critical for that person at that time. They are based on impact factors. I can actually just show you back here so you can see the difference. This is a perfect example. Magnesium has a high impact, whereas a B complex has a maximum impact. So this is an easy one to understand, right? So an impact reflects the degree of impact that a single recommendation will have on your unique physiology, okay? And there's only max, high, and moderate. We don't do low because we don't recommend things that have low impact. So there's max, high, and moderate. But if you go through this, right, we have a high impact and we have a maximum impact. Right? So if adherence is a real problem and they only want to do 5 things, well, then you would just click the only max impact things so that the ROI is huge for this person despite their low adherence. Okay? But they've got their whole plan. Create the plan. Done. Okay? This person has their full performance plan in their dashboard. And again, I want to remind you, I'm actually in this person's dashboard right now. And the walkthrough, I would recommend watching the other walkthrough video I did, because the depth that you can go is amazing, right? This person's interested in brain chemistry. So brain chemistry came back at a 76. Ooh, I can see the markers that impacted my brain chemistry the most. Okay, well, wow. Testosterone came back low. Okay, 582. I'm doing pretty good, but I'm not in the optimal zone of being at least 700. This is testosterone. This is the study that reflects the scientific integrity of everything that's on this page. If I go details, well, then I can look at this further and look at 3 more studies. Okay, so I can go as deep into this stuff as I want to, which is like a really cool thing. Like I go C-reactive protein, boom, same idea. You're able to look, this of course is only one point, but you would have ongoing This is historical data. There's only 1 point because there's only one blood test in here, but they would be able to look at historical data for their vitality score or any single biomarker. Their performance plan is right on here. When they should get their next draw, their blood work analysis, right? This is a deeper dive if they want to look at markers individually. They can look at it right here. And again, glucose. Ooh, glucose came back at 106. I'm high. This is what high means, and this is the study that reflects it. Details. Okay, this is what high means as a reflection of what's going on with my labs. But then I can even open up a video to break down this process of me talking about glucose and why and what it means to be elevated for your performance. Okay, so this is all really to say that this really helps scale your business. The deep dive component helps scale your business because it eliminates client interaction. A client can they can contextualize their markers because they know a cardiovascular score is here, what's impacting it. It's like, okay, that's my score. This is what's impacting it. And then these are the recommendations to improve it. And by the way, if I want to look at a scientific reference to support that, every question I just asked is right there. So the client interaction is almost nothing because any question they have is available on their platform. So you're able to scale this a lot because everybody's taken care of without you taking care of them. And even if they want to learn more, we've got articles specific to their goals. It just continues to go on. Goes on forever. This thing is truly, truly amazing. One thing I want to show you though, okay? I'm still in Jim Rever's platform. I've just been walking around his platform this whole time. Vitality Client. I click this home button right here, okay? Boom. Vitality Coach. I'm back on my coach's dashboard and I am where I need to be, okay? So this whole process, guys, I talked you through this. If I was just like, I could have done this in 30 seconds. This whole process. This takes none of your time. It takes none of your time at all. I think the last thing to show you here is really just something small, is update performance plan. So we recommend updating the plan once every 90 days to keep people moving, keep them, emotionally and psychologically excited about having new things in the plan, but also just to get them better results and to move on to other important things that we saw in the labs. Okay. So then you would also have an update plan here too. And that's from coach to coach, practitioner to practitioner. Sometimes you're like, how long has that guy been on that plan? Should I be changing his plan up yet? This thing just lets you know, it lets you know exactly when you need to do it. And then you're able to knock it out. You would just click complete follow-up. And also I'll show you here. So this is update performance plan, complete follow-up. When you go through here, so you can actually change the goals if you want. So that's a cool thing. Let's say you did like gut health and endurance for 90 days, but then we want to do, cardiovascular capacity and muscle size for the next 90. So it actually takes you to this so you can readjust the process should you like to. But then you can also, I'll just show you, I want to just show you that it autofills. So whatever was filled out the first time around, you're gonna have to fill it all out again. It's gonna autofill everything. Based on what was done in the past, and then you'll be able to kind of just move forward from there in a way that, again, is easy and saves your time. Okay? So, boom, we're back. Let's get to our dashboard, and that's it. Okay? That's how easy this thing is. Like this process, at the risk of sounding like a broken record, this is the easiest way to have the most confidence in blood analysis and programming without having any reduction in program quality or scientific integrity along the way, while scaling and helping more people. Like this is everything that I wanted in the industry. Absolutely everything. And now it's ready to rock. It's ready to go. And this career in a dashboard, this is at your fingertips. All right. And should you ever have any questions ever, our team's got your back, right? You've got this little chat bubble right here at the bottom. Go ahead and contact us should you ever have any issue ever. But I'm so confident that we're going to be such an easy button for you that it's going to be smooth sailing. And I can't wait to hear all your feedback.